Coming,
Good
yes.
evening, everybody.
I got a red button on that side.
You're in good shape.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you on this rainy Saturday evening. It's good to be in the house of the Lord, and we look forward to some wonderful music tonight. But before we go to our music, there are some prayer joys and concerns that we want to share. We lost one of our music community, Gary McMullen, who's frequently performed here at the Praise and Gospel Night. The funeral service for Gary was Tuesday of this past week. And we thank God for the gifts that he offered, and we ask God's blessing for his family and those who will mourn him in the days ahead. And I received a prayer request for Roger Toon, who has performed here at Praise and Gospel Night. The last I heard, he was in the hospital following heart surgery. Is he still hospitalized?
Still there.
All right, we lift up prayers for healing for Roger Toon. What other prayer concerns and what joys do you have to share?
Right.
Yes, sir, Doc.
I understand that Mr. James Moore had to go to the hospital. Did you get any update on him?
He's home. He's home.
Back home?
He's having to wear a monitor.
Okay.
Heart monitor.
We ask God's blessing for him as he continues to be treated. Well, we thank God for this rainy Saturday evening. Yes, sir, Ken.
Monday, my grandson finds out his fate Monday.
He finds out about his situation. All right, we ask God's blessing for him as he deals with some legal issues. And we thank God for this Praise and Gospel Night. This has been going on for years and years now, and it's been a blessing to so many people. And we thank the performers who come and those of you who come to support the entertainment and inspiration that they offer. Let's go to God in prayer. Lord God in heaven, we give you thanks for this gathering. We give you thanks for the melodies that you have placed in the hearts of your servants and for the gifts that you have placed in their hands. We ask, Lord, that this music night will be a time of blessing and inspiration again, and will equip us to go forth and be your faithful servants, so that someone else will know that you are a God of blessing, a God of power, who is able to help us make it through all of the challenges of life and able to lift us up and use us in your service. In the name of Jesus the Christ, we pray. Let the people of faith say, Amen.
Amen.
Testing yellow.
Testing green. Hi, Dodgen.
Hi, Doc. How you been doing?
Oh, man, you got that busy.
Oh, Larry's here. Yeah, we just had prayer requests, and we got Roger Toon prayed for again tonight. This is what, week number 6 or 7 that he's been in the hospital. Doc Davis on the washed-up bass. I'm playing a Favilla baritone ukulele. One of my favorites. Favilla is actually almost certainly the inventor of baritone ukulele. Some people think Eddie Connors invented it for Arthur Godfrey, but Herc Favilla had a instruction booklet for baritone ukulele in '49, which was a full year before Arthur Godfrey's instrument came out. Anyway, we're going to do 2 or 3 songs here for you, and I think, Doc, I'm going to start out with one that I used to hear. Tex Ritter was my favorite singer when I was a boy. He had that deep cowboy bass voice, and he sang. He got the Oscar, the Academy Award nomination for doing the soundtrack song in High Noon, and the writer of that song, High Noon, and the whole soundtrack for that movie was a Russian named Dmitri, I can't think of his last name right now, but he spoke kind of broken English at the time, and he invited all of the cowboy singers, famous ones of the day, to audition to do that. And he picked Tex Ritter from all of them. And I read the biography, his biography one time, just to see if he would tell why he picked Tex Ritter. You know, I mean, I always thought he was the perfect choice, but I was wondering what it was about Tex Ritter's singing and voice and everything that caused him to pick him over people like Frankie Lane and other people who maybe were better known at the time. And his explanation, the biographer, the guy who wrote the biography of Dmitri, said that his answer was, Tex Ritter sang cowboy songs like nobody. And that's good enough for him. This is a song called Green Grow the Lilacs. Sweetheart, but now I've got none. Since she's gone and left me, I care not for one. Since she's gone and left me, contented I'll be. For she loved another one better than me. Green grow the lilacs, all but sparkling with you. I'm lonely, my darling, since parting with you. And by the next meeting I hope to prove true and change the green lilacs to the red, white, and blue. I pass my love's window both early and late. The look that she gave me, it made my heart ache. The look that she gave me was horrible to see, for she loved another one better than me. Grow the lilacs, all sparkling with you. Lonely, my darling, since parting with you. By the next meeting, I hope to prove true. Change the green lilacs to the red, white, and blue. I wrote my love a letter in red rosy lines. She sent me an answer twisted in twine. She said, write your love letters and I will write mine. Write to your sweetheart and I write to mine. Sing with me. Green grow the lilacs, all sparkling with you. I'm lonely, my darling, since parting with you. And by the next meeting I hope to prove true. Change the green lilacs to the red, white, and blue. Change those green lilacs to the red, white, and blue. Green grow the lilacs.
Stuck in my head a while ago, and I thought that was Tex Ritter up here.
I thought that was my girlfriend he was talking about.
Okay, this next song is one that I used to hear Hank Williams sing this, but back when I was a teenager. I happened to be coming of age as a teenager when Hank was gaining his main fame. And this has always been one of my favorite Hank Williams songs. It's not one of those that you normally associate with it, not one of those that became a huge crossover hit or anything like that. But it's one called Mansion on the Hill.
Oh.
And if you know it, go along with me on it.
I lost two of those.
Just have to guess on this one. Let's see, this starts off with tonight down here in the valley. I am lonesome, I know how I feel as I sit here alone in my cabin. I can see your mansion on the hill. Do you recall when we parted? That story to me you revealed. Before you said you could live without love, dear, in that loveless mansion on the hill. I have waited all through the years, love, to give you a heart true and real. And I know you are living in sorrow in your loveless mansion on the The light shines bright in your window, and the tree stands so silent and still. I know you're alone with your pride, dear, in your loveless mansion on the hill. And this last song, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, this is a song that Larry Gamble did at the Second Friday Bluegrass Festival recently. He thinks of it as a Willie Nelson song because it's prominent on the Red-Headed Stranger album. I think of it as a T. Texas Tyler song because it was his theme song in the 1940s when he was the king, one of the kings of country music. We both like this song, and I'm just going to take the opportunity to dedicate this to Roger Tune, who's still in that hospital trying to get better, and we throw out our prayers just as Pastor Nealy did a while ago, and all of us will do that at home when we do our own prayers, and whether they're silent or spoken, doesn't matter. The man hears them all. And we just hope that the time is very soon in the future when Roger Tune is standing on this stage with Larry and singing songs that they like. And they like a lot of different kinds of songs. Two of my favorites, Larry Gamble and Roger Tune. This song is dedicated to him. This is one that, like I say, it was a T. Texas Tyler theme song, and I just loved T. Texas Tyler when I was a boy. One of those Texas country singers. Remember me when the candlelights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. The sweetest song belongs to lovers in the gloaming, sweetest day, or days it used to be. The saddest words I ever heard were words of parting, when you said, sweetheart, remember me. Everybody now. Remember me when the candlelights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. You told me once you were mine alone forever. I'm sure till the end of eternity, all those vows are broken now, and you will never be the same except in memory. Everybody now. Remember me when the candlelights are lit. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. A fairer face may take my place when we're apart, dear. Sweeter smile, a love more bold and free. In the end, farewell friends may break your heart, dear. If they do, sweetheart, remember me. Everybody say it. Remember me when the candlelights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. Thank you very much.
I'm glad I didn't have one more verse come in. I had a blowout on the right side.
Well, the next performance on the stage is already on the stage with his partner, Kris Martinson, is about to join him here. Doc Davis and Kris Martinson, for your pleasure.
didn't want to sing that one, did you? No. Okay, good.
I'm real excited because we got an extra member of the band tonight. It's going to blow a train whistle. Got Annabelle going to help us out.
Hey, Annabelle.
I got my strap.
Too excited.
My old Dodgen guitar.
Gotta have this.
Thank you, Mom. You got it? Yep. Thank you, James.
Got that whistle ready, Annabelle?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to try an orange blossom special.
Get a seat there. Okay, yonder coming down the railroad track. Hey, looky yonder coming down the railroad track. It's the old blossom festival, bringing my lady back. Well, I'm going down the floor and get some sand in my shoes. Or maybe sweaty California and get some sand in my shoes. I'll ride that orange blossom festival and move these New York blues. Say, man, when you going to Florida? Like Florida? I don't know. I don't reckon I ever will, but ain't you worried about getting your own nurse in New York? Oh, I don't care if I do that, do that, do that, do that. Hey, talk about travel. She's the fastest train on the road. Hey, talk about travel. She's the farthest train on the line. It's the orange blossom festival, rolling down the seaboard line. It's the orange blossom festival, rolling down the seaboard line. That's great. I'll send you a check the other month. Now we got Kris up here.
I got the whistleblower.
Hey, whistle make you sound good, Doc.
Hey, I know. She's expensive. She got all my check and part of hers too.
So you can say I'll do that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because the song that you give me,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. He changed after he went to McDonald's, got some tea.
Yeah, I've changed it this morning.
I don't think your mic's on.
Test. Can you hear me yet?
Just go ahead, I'll take care.
It starts like,
Okay. Oh, see, there goes everything. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. After this slowly walking, as they gently walk across the holy floor, and the voices softly say, darling, this will be goodbye forevermore. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. As my memory turns back to faces, I can see the happy years had before. Now the love that kept this whole heart beating has been shattered by the closing of the door. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything.
Yes.
You did pretty good on that song. You're gonna knock me out of the job pretty soon. Make sure I got the right song. I dropped that a while ago, you know. Can you hear me out there, Eddie? Okay.
Yeah, I'll turn you down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've been having some bipolar weather. You know, it's hot and it's cold. It's hot and it's cold. And I come across this song I sang years ago, okay, but I couldn't really sing. But not that it's going to be much better tonight. It's "The Devil is Gathering Firewood." It's a George Jones song. And so it's probably going to sound like me if he'd have recorded it like this. Oh, the devil turned the big old world into a party place. The next year that you've got a drink and lover to embrace. I think that he's being good to you, but he's got his sneaky ways. And the devil's gathering firewood for a long hot winter day. Oh, the race is on with Jesus, we'll win every soul again. We better get down on our knees and praise Him while I see the promised land. We better help Jesus take the lead, 'cause hell's a burning place. The devil's gathering firewood for a long, hot winter day. He's working every day night to keep a steady fire. A honky-tonkin' carnival with everything to ride. But if you'll stop and listen, you'll hear his acting play. And the devil's gathering firewood for a long winter day. This is usually where Annabelle plays the harmonica. She's trying. Oh, the race is on with Jesus to win every soul we can. We better get down on our knees and pray if we want to see the promised land. We better help Jesus take the lead, 'cause hell's a burning place. The devil's gathering firewood for a long hot winter day. Yeah, the devil's gathering firewood for a long winter day. Thank you, Larry. We're done, Joe, Dad.
Thank you.
Woo, thank you. Thank y'all, everybody. I think Troubadour's coming up. Yeah. We gotta stay up
Yeah.
there. Huh.
They're the ones. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the next group coming up has been on this stage multiple times. They came out here as listeners for a long time, and finally decided they would like to perform. And they built up a following, and here they are again, the Franklin County Troubadours, Ken Eaton and Donna Pitts. I'll say, once again, those of you who may not know, I mean, we put the concert on YouTube, online. You can relive it or tell somebody about it. And if they want to see it and weren't here, they can find it on YouTube. And we make still pictures to help us with that as well. That's why we're doing this. Meanwhile, once again, the Franklin County Troubadours, Ken Eaton and Donna Pitts.
That's a short microphone.
Thank you, Julian. Excited about being here. Well, I don't know. You turn it off? No.
You ain't got a lot of slack in there.
I'll try another one.
No, it's okay. Keep your seat.
That yellow one's got a lot of slack in it.
Yellow?
Yeah, it's coiled up down there.
Thank you, Julian. We're excited about being here again. We've been here a couple of times, so it's always good to come back. I just want to say thanks to Tinney Chapel, Dr. Nealy and Jodan for putting this together. I know it takes a lot of work. It don't just happen. So thank you for letting us come back and try to do a little music tonight. And I was talking about Kris taking his job. He don't know this, but when he plays for us, I have to pay Kris more than I do him now, you know.
Bang!
I'm gonna sit down. Old men have to sit down. Get that set back there somewhere. Yeah, I'm pushing that 3/4 of a century mark. It's hard for me to stand up, so I sit down and try to do my stuff down here. Got a new song tonight we never done publicly, I don't reckon, but Eddie Owen, you know, the greatest sound man in the world, I've heard him referred to. He brought this song to one of our jam sessions several months ago, and I kind of fell in love with it. I've been trying to practice it ever since then. It's a love song. You can never go wrong with a love song, you know. So, it was a #1 hit for old Sonny James back in 1972. It's called When the Snow is on the Road. I'm gonna play 3 or 4 chords for this song. Now back up ready. All the troubadours are ready. Now the golden sun can see us kiss. Every summer day will look like this. When the snow is on the roses, when the bluebirds flown away, in my arms we'll both remember all the love we shared today. As we walk along the silvery shore, vows we make will last forevermore. When the snow is on the roses, when the summer stars are gone, one more summer will be over, but our love will still go on. When the snow is on the roses, when the bluebirds gone away, in my arms we'll both remember all the love I invited all of my fans tonight, and both of them showed up, so thank you for coming. Our next song is going to be done by our female vocalist tonight, Miss Donna Pitts. She's going to come and sing a gospel song for us. And she's going to use some canned music, but we're going to play along with her too. You know, I told her the reason I don't ever use canned music. It don't know what I'm going to start, and they don't know what I'm going to stop, so I can't get along with the canned music. I want to thank Dr. Jimmy Davis for being with us tonight. I may have to up his pay after last night, but the last address I had for that guy was Black Rock, Texas. Anybody know where that's at? Kris Martinson came to us from Sioux City, Iowa. He's been in town for a while, but he hails from Sioux City. He's going to be backing up Doc over there. And Miss Donna Pitts, she's from a place called Pine Hill, Texas. That's a suburb of Winsburg, I think. Now she's going to do a song called Something Beautiful. There's a little bit of a story behind that song. My car got totaled out, so I had to order me a car over the phone. I bought another used car just like the one I had. It had a CD stuck in the CD player. And we got to listen to it, but couldn't get it out, so we listened to the same music over and over. This song happened to be on there, and Donna said it was the good Lord's way of telling us we needed to sing this song. So that's where this song came from. I know other people have sung it. She's going to do it for us. Something Beautiful.
And this is my testimonial to my life.
Let's wrap one.
Something beautiful, something good. All my confusion, he understood. All I had to offer him was brokenness and strife, but he made something beautiful of my life. If there ever were dreams, they were lofty and noble. They were my dreams at the start, and hope for life's best were the hopes that I harbored deep down in my heart. But my dreams turned to ashes, my castles all crumbled, my fortune turned to walls. So I wrapped it all in the rags of my life and laid him at the cross. Something beautiful, something good. All my confusion,
3 or 4 weeks ago, it was Easter, as you know. We went to an Easter pageant. We sung this song, and at least some of the folks there liked it. I thought I'd try to get it out. It's a song written by Jimmy Davis. Remember Jimmy Davis? He was a singer, a songwriter, a politician, vice governor of Louisiana. He wrote a song called 3 Rusty Nails. And I thought it was perfect for an Easter song. So we'll try to do that tonight, even though Easter has gone by just a little bit. With 3 rusty nails, they nailed Jesus to a tree. The sun turned to darkness on the day. Was the day that Jesus died, and the blood flowed from his side. The blood that washed my sins away. Jesus cried, "Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. For they have strayed so far, far away." With 3 old rusty nails, Jesus gave his precious blood, the blood that washed my sins away. Now this is the story of long ago of a man who owned a little store. He said, "I was glad to have my name above the door." It was 2,000 years ago, as I recall, located in Jerusalem across the street from Pilate's Hall. Now, I thought I had everything anyone would need. Folks would come from miles around, regardless of their creed. The only thing I had, didn't think I could ever sell, was on the corner of the shelf. 3 old rusty spike nails. Then one day a big Roman soldier came through the door. He walked up to me, it seemed. He shook the floor. I said, "Can I help you, sir?" In a voice, I guess, seemed frail. He said, "I'm looking for some big nails." Well, 3 old rusty spikes is all I have. He said, "That will do. For the job I have, 3 is enough. Now, how much do I owe you?" He put the money in my hand, and I was glad to make the sale. Then I wondered and I asked, "Sir, what can you do with just 3 nails?" He said, "Did you ever hear of a man called Jesus the Nazarene?" "Oh, you mean the one that goes about doing good?" He said, "Yes, that's the man. Well, today I intend to show the world that I'm the boss. For with these 3 old rusty spikes, I'm going to nail Jesus to the cross." I stood there almost numb. You'll never know how I felt. I said, "Please, sir, don't do that." As on my knees, I knelt. He just turned and walked away. I got up and followed him. I said, "Sir, please, I'll buy them back." But he just looked at me and grinned. But in the distance, I could see the howling mob through the tears that filled my eyes. "Away with him! Crucify him!" I could hear their angry cries over all the noise and the groans of agony. And I could hear the sounds of the hammer as that big Roman soldier nailed Jesus to a tree. Now, can anyone here say no one loves him? God does. They laughed as he cried, soldier pierced his naked side, and his father turned his face away. They drove the nail so blood that made him weep, the blood that washed my sins away. Now you might think that the story ends here, but historians, archaeologists, scientists, they tell us the remains of all the major religious leaders have been found. Mohammed, Buddha, Confucius, but no one has ever claimed to have discovered the remains of Jesus of Nazareth. Why do you think that is? Well, I think it's because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds my future, and life is worth the living just because he lives, and life is worth the living just because he lives.
Yes.
Well, thanks again for letting us be here. We hope you enjoyed as much as we did. We'll see you next time.
Franklin County Troubadours, Ken Eaton and Donna Pitts, helped out tonight by Doc Davis and Kris Martinson. Thank you so much. I don't know, are we on, Eddie, on this mic here, the green one?
Got unplugged or something.
And Pastor said something earlier about we've been doing this concert for several years. Come June, we'll begin our 7th year of this. It started nearly 7 years ago when Carl Sterling was sent here as our pastor. In the Methodist Church, our pastors are sent to us from time to time. And he started it, and we've kept it going ever since. And we're pleased that some of you are interested enough to help us keep it going by coming out. And we like to think of this as the Tinney Chapel listening room, where musicians can be heard and listened to for what the words of their songs and that sort of thing. This next performer has been on our stage about as many times as anybody has, almost. I call him the Lindell guitar wizard because he really knows how to play that D28 guitar. The D28 guitar, I think, has rosewood back and sides, something like that. Am I right on that, Michael?
That's correct.
Instead of mahogany. The D18 is mahogany back and sides. The D28 really makes those bass runs stand out, among other things. A lot of it is a matter of taste, but Mike loves this guitar, and I love the sound of it, and his talent with it is amazing. He's a graduate of Winsboro High School, and some of his relatives, I think, still live around here. I remember when I was younger, one of his relatives had a store in town, and the name Dodgen has long been associated with Winsboro. Mike has moved away, down all the way to the city of Lindale, but he makes a lot of the jams and the music sessions. He comes to the second Friday acoustic bluegrass jam regularly. I think he makes some of those in downtown Winsboro that Doc Davis has a lot to do with managing those. And he writes some really nice songs. I don't know if he's doing any original stuff tonight or not, but he has unusual talent in that he can compose his own songs and music. One that we really like here that he's performed a few times for us is called the large print edition of the Heavenly Highway Hymns. That's not a hint, Mike. I'm just letting the people know that we love that song. And I've heard him do it here and in other venues. It's a great song. Whatever he has in mind, you're going to enjoy. Mike Dodgen, the Lindell guitar wizard.
gotta say, I'm kind of at a loss to see we've got the troubadours and everybody's got a group name, and the closest I ever came was Mike in a run-of-the-mill band, and I was just me by myself up here. Eddie, how does that sound to you?
Sounds good to me. Keep her up.
Not exactly Roy Orbison.
What do you want?
No, that's good. It's good for me.
Saw your picture on a poster in a cafe out of Phoenix. I guess you're still the sweetheart of the rodeo. As for me and little Casey, we still make the circuit in a one-horse trailer and motorhome. She still asks about you all the time, and I guess we never even cross your mind. Then sometimes I think about you and the way you used to ride out with your rhinestones and your sequins and the sunlight on your hair. No, the crowd will always love you. As for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Already getting older. Last Saturday he stumbled, but you know I just can't bear to let him go. She's still rolling, and she started asking questions, and there's certain things a man just doesn't know. Her birthday came and you never even called. I guess we never crossed your mind at all. Then sometimes I think about you and the way you used to ride out with your rhinestones and your sequins and the sunlight on your hair. No, the crowd will always love you. As for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Everybody said you'd make it big someday, and I guess that we were only in your way. But someday I'm sure you're gonna know the cost. Cause for everything you win, there's something lost. Sometimes I think about you and the way you used to ride out with your rhinestones and your sequins and the sunlight on your hair. Oh, the crowd will always love you. As for me, I've come to know everything that glitters
I was out of high
Orchard's
school and in college before I knew this thing had a real name, capo. Around my house growing up, where Daddy was playing, it was always the cheater. So I knew what cheaters on guitar was, and I knew what a cheater pipe was, and that was pretty much all I needed to know. At least I know what a cheater pipe is. I bet there's not a lot of the generation out there in school today knows what a cheater pipe is, do they? You ever bent one in half on a 36-inch pipe wrench? Trying to make a huge, yeah. We had a lot of bent pipe wrenches. We didn't bend many cheater pipes. She's been all day at church down in Lindale on a women's retreat thing, so she said, I want you to do that song for me. Okay. Because when she says, did I say yes to that? And we got married in 1981. How many years is that now? 30, long time. It's been great. So I don't mind doing a song for her like that. Thank you. That was exactly the reaction I was looking for. You see, what you probably do realize is, like Joe had said, he films this, and at some point next week I'm going to say, CJ, I need you to listen to this and tell me what I didn't do right. And she's going to hear this tribute to her, and she's going to say, you know, she's not going to listen anymore. So I'm just going to give me a get out of jail free card. And I don't know what y'all, this pollen and this weather and all these other blessings out here are really wreaking havoc on my throat. So if you hear me not quite hit it, Well, I hit it this morning.
You could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts would tell. Just like an old time movie about a ghost from a wishing well. In a castle dark, or a fortress strong, with chains upon my feet. You know that ghost is me, and I won't ever be set free as long as I'm a ghost that you can't see. If I could read your mind, love, what a tale your thoughts would tell. Just like a paperback novel, the kind the drugstore sells. And when you reach the part where the heartaches start, the hero would be me. But heroes often fail, and you won't read that book again, because the ending's just too hard to take. I walk away like a movie star who gets burned in a three-way street. Enter number two, a movie queen to play the scene, bringing all the good things out in me. But now, love, let's be real, I never thought I could act this way. I've got to say that I just don't get it. I don't know where we went wrong. The feeling's gone and I just can't get it back. You could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts would tell. Just like an old time movie about a ghost from a wishing well. In a castle dark, or a fortress strong, with chains upon my feet. But the stories always end, and if you read between the lines, you know that I'm just trying to understand the feeling that you lack. I never thought I could feel this way. I've got to say that I just don't get it. I don't know where we went wrong, but the feeling's gone, but just can't get it back.
Yes. Mike Dodgen. The next, thank you, Mike. The next performer tonight is John Skelton, who's been on this stage before. He hangs out with people like Roger Berry and other really highly talented musicians, and sometimes plays with them and them with him. Actually, John sat in and was one of the marvelous, magnificent musicians for Eddie Owen's band just last month here. And so they're going to be paying each other back, so to speak. Eddie's going to help out, and looks like Jordan is going to help him out. John plays his own style of music, and he has a wide range of tastes. We're going to enjoy it very much. I'll just mention once again that, as I did a while ago, that we think of this, the way that our music event differs from a lot of others is that we do concentrate on trying to be a listening room where the musician can be heard carefully, and all the nuances of their words or their music can come out and blossom to the fullest extent. John Skelton and his band.
Mike is not as old as Mike's not as old as we are. One of these days he'll have to sit down too.
I started to anyway.
Thank George and Eddie for playing with me on these songs. Maybe I can get this thing. Is that loud enough? You don't know how to turn it up? Is that loud enough? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I want to dedicate these songs here that I'm singing tonight to a man that I didn't get to be around him much. I didn't know him till just a few years ago, but Gary McMullen, and I got to play with him, had the honor of playing with him up in Soft Springs a couple of times, and there was not a finer man. The man was a good Christian man. He loved the Lord, and he's with the Lord right now. When the sky is getting dark and the clouds are moving in, when the storms of life fill our hearts with pain, just to let the Savior in, for when we trust in Him, He will lead us beyond the rain, beyond the rain. There'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain. When we live our lives alone, try to make it on our own, still the heartache and emptiness remain. If we hold on to God's hand, He will lead us to a land where His sun will always shine beyond the rain, beyond the rain. There'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain. Now the battle has been won. God gave His only Son to fulfill the promise If only we believe, what a gift we will receive to live with Jesus beyond the rain. Beyond the rain, there'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain. He will lead us beyond the rain. I heard this next song and fell in love with it. I can't sing it like the original people sing it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And there's a lot of truth in this song. Equal. If you could see where I am, you wouldn't cry. For I'm living in a land where no one dies. Safe in the arms of Jesus Christ. If you could see where I am, you wouldn't cry. Now my feet walk on streets made of gold, and everything that you heard is really so. Walls of jasper, gates of pearl, the half has not been told. It's a land where the young won't grow old. If you could see where I am, you wouldn't cry. For I'm living in a land where no one dies. And I'm safe in the arms of Jesus Christ. If you could see where I am, you wouldn't cry. I've seen the print of the nail in His hand. He walks with me side by side in this land. And I've seen that great love in His precious eyes. It's a land where there are no goodbyes. If you could see where I am, you wouldn't cry. For I'm living in a land where no one dies. And I'm safe in the arms of Jesus Christ. If you could see where I am, you wouldn't cry. For I'm safe in the arms of Jesus Christ. If you could see where I am, you wouldn't cry. I love this song too. I'm not much of a speaker. I don't like to talk much. I just like to do. So
He's a preacher.
and I don't like to talk much. And I don't like to eat much like most of these Baptist preachers, you know. There came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind. It filled their hearts with singing and gave them peace within. The prophet gave this promise: the Spirit will descend, and from your inner being a river with no end. There is a river that flows from deep within. There is a fountain that frees the soul from sin. Come to this water. There is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run dry. There was a thirsty woman who was drawing from a well. Her life was ruined and wasted. Her soul was bound for hell. Then she met the Master, who told of her great sin. And if you drink this water, you'll never thirst again. There is a river that flows from God above. There is a fountain that's filled with His great love. Come to this water. There is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run dry. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all letting me come sing to you.
Hello, John.
See if this will come up a little. Yeah. Testing red.
So y'all just switch chairs.
Just swap chairs. See,
I like that versatility.
If we can just remember,
good.
the pay's the same.
You know, John dedicated that song to Gary McMullen, and I just remind you that we recorded that funeral service, a beautiful service in which there was a lot of music involved in it. That music was a huge part of Gary McMullen's life, and that was big in his funeral service as well. And at the end of it, after the end of the service, we tacked on a 3-song set that he had done here back sometime last year, and in which he does some of his favorite songs. If you want to watch it, just go to Google and put Gary McMullen Funeral, and it'll bring you up to the link for it. This last performer tonight, there's a reason that he's always last on the program, because he is the brand for the Tinney Chapel Music Night, the Tinney Chapel Praise and Gospel Concert. If you look at the dictionary under Tinney Chapel Music, there'll be a picture of George Jordan there.
Never seen it, buddy.
But, you know, he came to us from Nebraska. There's been some of his early life there. He spent some of his formative years at Boys Ranch over near Amarillo, where a lot of his character probably was developed, a lot of his values were probably developed there. But as soon as he could, he got to East Texas and came here to Tinney Chapel. And he's been here for doing what he does now for decades, picking that guitar and singing and writing gospel music. He's got hundreds of songs that he's written over the decades. I don't think he ever knew how many there is, but there's a huge number of them. He sometimes does his own music, sometimes he does other people's music, and we don't restrict him to anything. It's whatever, it's George's choice every time he's on the microphone. So the person that we think best represents the concept of Tinney Chapel Music Night, the original Tinney Chapel troubadour, George Jordan, and his band for tonight, John Skelton and Eddie Owen.
How about it, George? How do you see these guys up down on the street down here?
That's where I drop them off.
Yeah? We're going to do a little bit tomorrow. We don't smoke marijuana in Muskogee. We don't take our trips on LSD. We burn our draft cards down on Main Street. We don't burn our draft cards. We like living right and being free. I'm proud to be an Okie from Muskogee, place where we squares can have a ball. We still wave Old Glory down at the courthouse. White lightning's still the biggest thrill of all. We don't make a party out of loving. We like holding hands and kitchen blues. We don't let our hair grow long and shaggy, like those hippies out in Winsboro, Texas do. And I'm proud to be an Okie from Muskogee, place where even squares can have a ball. We still wave Old Glory down at the courthouse, and white lightning's still the biggest thrill of all. Well, leather boots are style in the man's footwear. Beats and Roman sandals won't be seen. Football's still the roughest thing on campus, and kids should still respect college team. So I'm proud to be an Okie from Muskogee, place where even squares can have a ball. We still wave Old Glory down at the courthouse. White lightning's still the biggest thrill of all. In Muskogee, Oklahoma, USA.
Yes.
Then we've got to do a little thank you. Jambalaya. by Joe, we gotta go meet on my own. We gotta go on the big road down the bayou. My Yvonne, sweetest one, me on my own. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, and filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my machete meal. We'll pick guitar, fill from jar, and big ale. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. When Timmy Doe found to know the place is buzzing, kinfolk come to see on by the dozen. Dressed in style, go hog wild, me on my own. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Oh, jambalaya, crawfish pie, and filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my machete meal. Big guitar, fill from jar, and big ale. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. We'll settle down, far from town, get me a B-roll. Gonna catch all them fish in the bayou. Swap my money, buy Yvonne what she need, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Ah, jambalaya, coffee pie, filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my machete meal. We'll pick guitar, fill the jar, and big ale. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Last song's an old hymn. It's one of my favorite. Have that old way. Have that old way, Lord. Have that old way. Lord, the Father. I play, mold me and make me after thy will. While I'm waiting, yielded and still, have thine own way. Have my own way, searching and finding you, Savior today. Wash me just now, Lord, wash me just now, and bless humbly I bow, and thine own way, Lord, and thine own way. Wounded and weary, help me I pray. Power of power, surely is ours. Touch me.
Musicians back on stage. We'll all stand as George leads us in Will the Circle Be Unbroken?
Say good night, George. Good night.